Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with another Disabled Vet's Perspective, and this is the Sunday nightcap. And I just wanted to bring up a few things that I've noticed that are going on. Uh, for one thing, the law breaking by the Democrats is just becoming epic. They're talking now about arresting Attorney General Barr in order to force him to testify in front of the House. Nadler is a real issue. He's had a personal vendetta against Donald Trump since, their early days in New York, apparently over a land deal. Um, Trump apparently, this is what I gather. I haven't fact checked it, but it's just what the hearsay of the hearsay is. And I know I shouldn't be doing that, but just to give you a roundabout of what Nadler is about. Apparently he wanted a piece of land, and Trump got it, and then Nadler, in his vindictive way, tried to delay permits and things like that so that it couldn't be built on, and try to drive it to a point where it would end up going to an auction, and then he was going to try to reassess the land. Um, the interesting thing about Nadler is that his son is in a law firm that is suing Donald Trump for documents. So you've got Nadler trying to destroy Trump on the government side, within the government, and then you have his son working in a law firm that is trying to do things to Trump on the outside in the civilian world. Um, it's amazing. But that's just one of the things I've noticed. And as we get closer, and as as the Badgers, I guess, get cornered, they're going to come out swinging, and you're seeing a little bit of that. This recent event with North Korea relaunching missiles and trying to flex their muscle again, and they made a real purposeful effort to take a picture of him with his little smirk and his black hat on. And if you don't know, the black hat's a tip to the CIA. He is part. He has been controlled by the deep state for a very long time. Most people don't know that, but it is fact. And they have probably given him a go command so that they can ramp things up, because they need an event, because something's coming. And these missiles get everybody riled up again, and maybe they'll get their little trigger event. The other thing that's going on is Israel is now being rained on by rockets from Gaza again, and it's the same thing. It's the deep state. They're trying to provoke a reaction because they have to have a war. The amount of evil that they obtain within their group, going all the way up to the black nobility, is it's biblical, quite literally. So they need an event. They need a war. They need hatred and anger and aggression and death. They need this stuff in order for them to be filled with their whatever immortality as they think they have, or whatever, with their drinking of adrenochrome and the sacrifices and all the crap that goes along with it. They want a war, and then they want to dominate us like a herd of cattle, because that's really all we are to them, is useless eaters. And they want most of us dead anyway. And if you don't believe that, then you need to look up the Georgia Guidestones, because their first commandment is to first reduce the population of the earth to 500 million to maintain harmony with nature. And that's the first commandment. One little known thing that people aren't aware of is that the Illuminati does exist. They're made out to be a conspiracy theory, so that everybody flips out. But one of the rules of the Illuminati is that they can do anything they want to humanity, but they have to tell them about it first. And I know that sounds stupid, but the hints come in movies. They don't hide it, really. I mean, if you pay attention, there are usually signs, and those signs are right in plain sight, and they're so obvious that most people look right over the top of them. but if you pay attention, you see hints of the things that they plan on doing. So I think that there's a big event coming with the military doing their first world training in these big cities. That's an indication that they're considering combat in a city-like environment that has similar infrastructure, and it's not going to be desert warfare where everybody's on the ground. It's going to be high rises and all the traffic and everything that goes along with it. First world training means first world conflict. We don't train in the military for things that we don't plan on doing. So the events coming, I want you guys all to be prepared. Get your food, get your alternative electric sources, get everything that you need to get, and be just ready. And if I'm wrong, then you guys can go, oh my God, you were so wrong. But if I'm right, I'm not going to sit there and say I told you so. I'm just going to try to tell you ahead of time that you need to be looking at these things because it's coming. It's another somber Sunday night. I wish there was just good news once in a while, and it's so hard to find. But one thing about this event that's coming, if the spam hits the sham, or the spit hits the span, I don't know, whichever one, you also have to be willing to uphold your oath of the Constitution. You did not take an oath of office. You took an oath to defend and protect the laws of the Constitution. So you have to be willing to stick up for that, and anybody who is given an unlawful, unconstitutional order is obligated not to obey it. So I hope that the soldiers and the men in blue all realize that and pay attention to it. We're all in this together. It's the governments around the world that are trying to turn everybody against each other. So as long as the people stand tall and stand together, then the governments will not win. So anyway, Sunday nightcap of misery and mayhem and everything else that comes with it. I want you guys to be prepared. Y'all stay in the fight.